My first price target for Casper in 2025 is 15 cents. And this, by the way, is my first price target, so it's my worst case scenario. But even besides that point, nothing I say is financial advice nor a guarantee. But why is that? It's because I believe that contrary to popular belief, Casper is actually a very amazing layer 1 blockchain. If you think about the Casper network, it's very fast, it's very scalable, very low gas fees. I still think that fundamentally, it just pretty much competes with the big dogs. Because if you take a look at Solana, you take a look at Ethereum, you take a look at, for instance, something like Avalanche, people like how it's very fast, right? They like how, for instance, it's very amazing, all this type of stuff. But sometimes they don't consider Casper. In terms of fundamentals, Casper doesn't lose out. Not to mention, it's a lot better than Ethereum. Ethereum, sky-high gas fees, and it's arguably not even scalable. So, again, when you take a look at something like Casper, it just pretty much defeats it. I'm not saying it has more fans. I'm not saying it has more hype. I'm not saying that the sentiment is better because, quite frankly, the sentiment for Casper isn't the greatest. But in my opinion, when I take a look at it, on paper at least, it's just theoretically a lot better. And some people out there, they seem to think that, oh yeah, Casper, it's complete trash, all this type of stuff. But the low price doesn't necessarily mean that the fundamentals are complete trash, because people oftentimes like to say that, oh, Casper has no future from here. I disagree. There's going to be Casper 2.0 in the future, hopefully, right? It's allegedly going to launch. And through Casper 2.0, I think things are just going to get a lot better. I think the sentiment is going to change. I think things are just going to become a lot more positive. And especially with Bitcoin being the way it is as of right now, having such a good pump, I think better days are ahead. Not to mention, if you take a look at Casper also, in terms of its ecosystem, it's not terrible, Furthermore, you take a look at the staking ratio is still very impressive. Despite a lot of people leaving Casper not too long ago, it's still holding up pretty strong. Not to mention as well, when you take a look at Casper, the amount of holders is pretty fantastic. And not to mention, it's listed in pretty decent exchanges. I'm not saying that Casper is listed everywhere. I'm not saying the exposure is the best, but it's listed in several good exchanges. So if I take a look at Casper, we've seen time and time again, right? Layer 1 blockchains that are very fast, that are very scalable. And then they're listed in decent exchanges during a fully fledged bull run. They went along with the ride. They went up as well. So when it comes to Casper, I just don't see why that wouldn't be the case. If you take a look at it, right? Back then, did people ever think Cardano's native token called ADA was going to pump? No, at a certain point, a lot of people gave up. The price of ADA at one point was below 3 cents. But then, of course, we all know what happened when it comes to ADA in 2021. It just proved a lot of the haters wrong, reached the price of over $2. You know what I mean? So if you actually take a look at it, it proved a lot of people wrong again. And also on top of that, you take a look at Solana, Avalanche. At the beginning, people didn't believe in it too. So I think that when it comes to Casper, it could very well be something so amazing because it has the fundamental qualities. It has the tools to succeed. Again, it's listed in pretty decent exchanges. I would argue that it could be better, but still, it's still pretty good in that department. So during a fully fledged bull run at the price of, let's say, 15 cents, it's really not that crazy. You got to think about how, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $1.8 billion. Like, this is really peanuts in the grand scheme of things. Casper has fallen so much, in terms of price, to the point that going to the price of 15 cents, that right there is over 20x from here. That's crazy to think about. Solana can't do over 20x from here. BNB can't do that. Ethereum can't do that. Bitcoin also can't do that. I'm talking about during this bull run. I'm not talking about the long term. But still, I think you get what I mean there. When it comes to Casper, the amazing thing about it is that it's way lower than many meme coins out there, which is kind of crazy to think about, but the fundamentals doesn't feel like a meme coin at all. I think this is a hidden gem. Now, am I guaranteeing that Casper is going to pump? No. You never truly know, right? But in my opinion, I'm willing to take the chance because, again, when I see something this amazing at this low in price, it's a no-brainer pick for me. And again, reaching the price of 15 cents wouldn't have such a crazy market cap. We take a look at even Pepe in the billions of market cap, right? Even as of right now, not during a fully fledged bull run yet. This is crazy. So when I take a look at it, this is like really such a no-brainer pick for me. When it comes to Casper, I get it. It's an altcoin and also it's very volatile. But I'm willing to take the chance because when something is this low, I have to believe in it. Luna Classic found a bottom. Klima DAO found a bottom, right? Also on top of that, you take a look at something like, for instance, Litecoin had a good pump in 2021. So when I take a look at Casper, I just don't see why it won't do good. I'm not saying it's going to be the best performer out there during a fully fledged bull run, but over 20x, that wouldn't surprise me at all, in terms of price increase from right now. It's just so low in price. So again, 15 cents, that wouldn't surprise me during this bull run as my first price target. Now, my second price target for Casper is 20 cents. Now, some people may think that this is insane or whatever like that, but considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $2.5 billion. So it's not that crazy. And keep in mind that is over a 28x from here. So it's pretty decent still. Dogecoin reached over 80 billion. Shiba Inu reached over 40 billion. I'm not saying that Casper is a meme coin, and some people may think that this is an unfair comparison, but I just wanted to showcase how in the world of cryptocurrencies, reaching around $2.5 billion in market cap, that's kind of peanuts in the grand scheme of things, really. So when it comes to Casper, just achieving a little bit, just a glimpse of success, that's already hypothetically very fantastic. So again, I don't think that this is too hard to achieve. Now, my third and final price target for Casper is 25 cents. Now, why is that? It's because when I take a look at this bull run, it could be so amazing. And as the old saying goes, a high tide raises all ships. Meaning that even some of the caca ships, they're going to go along with the ride. Like, for instance, I think that during this bull run, we're going to see some absolutely terrible projects have a good pump. Now, only time will tell what those projects will be, right? But in 2021, we've seen that. We've seen time and time again, absolute nonsense projects having a good rally. Casper is not a nonsense project. It's very amazing in a sense that its fundamentals are A+. When it comes to the Casper network, it's not a bad layer 1 blockchain. Again, exposure is fantastic. Listed in pretty decent exchanges. Not to mention, you take a look at how the Bitcoin ETF is massive, the Ethereum ETF, the number of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption. Now, personally, I don't think Ethereum is great, but then the ETF is positive for the whole space overall. Also, when it comes to Bitcoin, I wouldn't acquire it personally, but of course, the ETF is very positive for the whole space. And not to mention, again, when you have over 500 million crypto owners, more than ever before in history, according to Crypto.com research, I do believe that the sky's the limit during this bull run. I'm not saying, again, that Casper is going to be the number one performing thing out there, but doing over 30x and going to the price of 25 cents, it doesn't seem like such a tough task. You know what I mean? It's not like Casper has to go to a $50 billion market cap or something crazy like that to achieve that. No, that's not the case. Again, just around a $3 billion market cap, over 35x from here. I mean, wow. That's just so insane to me, right? All I got to do right now is just stay patient. Really, it's just a waiting game. But I don't mind, because even based off of history, we have seen that altcoins, as a worst case scenario, they usually peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event, again, as a worst case. Now, based on the last Bitcoin halving event that happened back in April, 18 months is actually October of 2025, around that time. So there's still some time there when it comes to Casper to prove itself. Also, a bunch of other altcoins. We haven't seen the moment yet when ADA is breaking a new all-time high, when something like, Solana is reaching absolutely fantastic levels. We haven't seen Ethereum reach the price of $10,000 yet. We haven't seen Bitcoin reach the price of $100,000 yet. I think the journey is still far. And again, it may not seem that far, but I still think it's kind of far nonetheless, given the current sentiment where people are a little bit impatient. So that's why, again, I tell this video 2025 price targets, because again, worst case scenario could be October. Could be a lot sooner though, only time will tell. But again, I'm willing to wait because I'm going to be waiting anyways, right? Like, for instance, if I didn't believe in cryptocurrencies, what would I be doing? I'd have my cash in a bank account, it'd just be waiting. Granted, it wouldn't have dipped this much when you take a look at, the performance of Casper. I totally understand that, but instead of guaranteeing a loss basically by putting in my bank account and having inflation quite essentially eat it up, I'd much rather just put into Casper because yes, even though it's down, even though my average cost as of right now is still above 2 cents, even despite all that, I do believe that once it goes to the price of 4 cents, that's double. That's more than I could ever make, ever, literally, by having my cash sitting in a bank account. That's the way you take a look at it. That's why I'm still dollar cost averaging into Casper, despite the price being down, because if anything, I'm lowering down my average cost. So I really like that. Any time on income, I'm acquiring, I'm holding, and I'm just waiting. That's it. I've been waiting ever since 2021. And when it comes to all the cryptocurrencies that I have, I've all been waiting ever since quite a while now. You know what I mean? It's not like I cashed out a bunch and be like, oh yeah, buy it. No, that hasn't happened. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for Casper. I'm still waiting for HBAR. I'm still waiting for, Aerodrome. I'm still waiting for ICP, Jasmine. I'm still waiting for all of it. So I might as well just wait on Casper. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm still very bullish on Casper. I think there's many, bullish factors that could very well allow for it to have a good bull run. And that's why I'm not going to give up. And again, Casper at the price of 25 cents during this bull run that right there wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.